I've said it before, I'll say it again. The ScanNCut makes creativity so easy. Hello friends, Flaum here. Today I'm going to make a ScanNCut ornament. First, you're going to need a clear ornament, glass or plastic. You're also going to need some pattern paper, some vinyl, some transfer material, and something to fill your ornament up if you would like. To start with, I'm picking a snowflake and sizing it as small as possible. Now, once it is sized small, I'm going to go ahead and accept it and then go in, add pattern, and repeat with multiple patterns. I'm picking my vinyl pieces first. Now, I'm picking kind of snowflake type elements here for my vinyl pieces. This is one of my favorite ones up here, and I often forget about it. And I'm going to just size these the minimum size and then add them in there. Now, just a little tip here, I can actually size them. The minimum size that it lets me do is the recommended size, but I can actually size them even smaller. What I'm doing here is just to resize them, and then what I'll do is kind of move them around, and I'll also size some of them up and some of them down. Basically, what I want to do is create a variety of sizes, and because I'm cutting sticker craft vinyl, I know that this vinyl cuts really smoothly, cuts beautifully, teeny tiny. So I am not at all worried about the cut being too small for the material. This is a project I've done before. This is something, well, not this exact project, but this is something I've done before with very tiny vinyl, and I know that it'll work really well. So once I have selected all of the different pieces that I would like, and by the way, what you're seeing me do there with that blue button that was lit up, you can adjust the height or the width, or if you do not have that selected, you will be adjusting both at the same time. So once all of these are here and we have adjusted the sizes, we've adjusted the quantities, we're going to go ahead and cut these out. And we're going to use the auto blade here, the ScanNCut DX. All of the DX models have an auto blade, which is a really wonderful feature because it allows us to do so much, honestly, just to do so much and not worry about how we're cutting. So once we select cut, we're going to push that tool button. We're going to select half cut on, which will cut the vinyl and not the backing. And then we're off and running to prepare ourselves. So to prepare ourselves with the vinyl here, we're going to be pulling the top part up. There we go. And just gently with a pick tool is recommended, and with your hands, work slowly to pull those pieces through to make sure that you're lifting away the vinyl you do not wish to cut, leaving all the vinyl you do wish to use and to stick onto your project. That is very, very important. And this step is important to do now so that you've got everything ready to go for when you actually dig in here and start creating. Actually create this, I need to show you how to make the flowers and the holly for this, because we're going to do a combination of vinyl and cardstock. Now you can use any material you would like, but I find cardstock holds up really nice, and it's also a good idea to have a good visualization on the size of your ornament, on the size of the elements that you would like to cut out. What size is going to work well for you? So I'm going in here and picking this holly element, which is one of my personal favorites, because what you actually cut out are the individual parts. So we're not going to cut out any of those holly berries. We're just going to cut out the leaves, and we're going to pick a couple of each and add more. And I remind you, in Object Edit, you can resize, you can move things around, you can arrange things differently, as many things as you need to do in order to get this to work. So this is going to be very simple though, because we're just going into pattern and we're picking leaves. We're also picking flowers because we're going to have some pretty little blooms here on our ornament. And by the way, I'm doing holly leaves and blooms, but you could do lots of different shapes if you wanted to have candy canes on there, if you wanted to have stars, whatever you would like. And again, you can see I'm sizing way down, and I can continue, as I said before, to size my elements in the area there where Object Edit. So I can go in there and go into Edit, and then Object Edit. What I'm doing right now is moving these flowers away from the holly because I know I'm going to cut out of different colors. And I'm going to continue to select the patterns that I would like. As you can see, there's a lot of options built in. The STX 225 has many built-in designs. Look how cute that would be. So many options for us. But I'm going to stick with the snowflakes, holly, and flowers theme for my project today. But as you can see, I could make endless ornaments just with the built-ins, not even with other files. So I'm going to go on back, and so many fun pieces. I'm going to go on back to flowers though. And up at the top, it's slightly cut off, but there's just a little back arrow that we can go to select more. Or if I would like to select more, say, holly leaves, I can pull more of those in. I can absolutely add more this way. Or again, as I said before, you can add via the option within Edit, Object Edit. Once you are satisfied with all the different pieces, you're going to go ahead. You see how I have everything all separated out. I have lots of different materials on my mat. I'm going to go ahead and go into Cut and Start. Let everything cut out. As you can see here, we're in fast forward because this part's the best and easiest part. Hot glue or another glue if you have a different glue that would work well. And we're just going to attach little tiny bits of glue and attach all of those, not all, but many of those holly leaves, many of those flowers that we just cut out. So super easy. And just a tip, you could, once you've cut out on your ScanNCut, if you want even more, you can leave your patterns that you've just selected and placed and cut as many times as you would like out of as many materials as you would like. So you don't have to reselect them every time you want to cut if you either save or just go right again and cut even more. I am just kind of pinching the petals on these flowers just to give them a little dimension. And here is a pro tip. I'm using a little round of washi tape to help me hold this ornament up so I can see how it looks as I glue different things on. Now, I'm going to work in phases. So I am putting some of these paper elements on, and then I am going to move over to vinyl, which you can see me doing there. I'm using a piece of transfer material, which is exactly what the name implies. This material is going to allow me to transfer vinyl onto my ornament. And you can repeat that process as many times as you would like, depending on how you would like this ornament to look, how many items you would like to place on there. Now you might be noticing I'm using my Brother little pick tool that is sold separately. I'm using that because sometimes, as my ornament rolls away, sometimes when we're working with vinyl, sometimes it might get stuck or something might be not quite how you want. That can help you to lift the vinyl, much like it helps you weed, can help you to lift the vinyl up to gently sort it out. The really key tip that I have for you when working with vinyl, be patient, work nice and slow, and make sure that everything is where you want it. Check twice, cut once kind of a thing, and then keep adding. I absolutely love how this ornament turned out, and it's just, there's so much fun. It's so cute. You can keep adding however much or however little you would like to add. And yes, you could add text. You could add all kinds of different things. I'm keeping mine text free, at least for this ornament. I'm just going through here and gluing more. Now that I have my vinyl down, I want to go and glue even more of the paper pieces. I just kind of worked back and forth on it because I wanted a few of the paper pieces down, which gave me an idea where I would want the vinyl. Then I placed some vinyl down. Now I'm going back in and placing more of the paper flowers, more of the paper holly leaves. And could any of these items be vinyl? They could, but just remember when they're vinyl, they're going to be flush against the ornament. Because these are paper or another material that would stand up, that's how you can get some dimension to your project. Now, once you are happy with this, once you are, you've got everything, all the pieces that you want down, you can move on to things like buttons or sequins or other little bits and pieces, little doodads, rhinestones and things that you would like to add to your project. Now, you might notice I'm using that piece of transfer material to place a little hot glue and dip my holly leaves. I found that that was a really effective way to go about it. As you can see, I've got my buttons out and we're going to town with some fun button details. This is obviously, all of this is optional. Whatever you would like to do on your ornament, the bottom line is the ScanNCut's making it easy because it's going to do all the heavy lifting, all the cutting for you. You're just going to get to do the creating, the designing, and the fun of the project, which is one reason why this is one of my favorite projects to making handmade ornaments. And I love to gift them, and I love to share them with people. I love to fill them up. You could put money in there. You could put some presents. I suppose you could put some jewelry in there. You could put lots of different things inside when you have an ornament like this. Just make sure the person knows there's something inside there, or that it's obvious, obviously, so that they can get their present. In this case, I'm going to use some just kind of little flakes, little sparkly white flakes of, I'm not sure what you would call it, like artificial snow that's really super shiny. And I'm going to put a good amount in there. And as you can see, it adds such a fun detail. We could add sequins in there. We could add beads in there, whatever you would like. I just wanted some fluffy snow-like texture before I wrap up this project and send it off to a loved one. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. So easy and fun to craft with the ScanNCut. It's always a favorite of mine at the holiday season. I'll see you next time.